Hello, welcome to my new show, You Throughout the Years. Here, we will have conversations with ordinary persons like you and me. Everyone has a story, either good or bad, funny or sad. So come and reminisce with us as we find out how these years have shaped our lives. If you would like to have your product or services promoted on this show, email us at bajanstrokessurvivor at gmail.com. We have different packages to suit your needs. So, we are here with a wonderful and beautiful lady by the name of Cherylann. She is a dear friend of mine, and I am happy that I have met you. I'm very thankful that you have agreed to be on the show.
Good evening. Sam here. Sam sentiments.
Cherylann, can you just introduce yourself to us?
My name is Cherylann Johnson Boyne. Sometimes I forget to put on the boy. It's for getting used to it. But everybody likes to call me CJ, and I am known to a lot of people as CJ. What? I'm very friendly and talkative, but I guess as the show goes on, you'll find out more about me.
Yes, that is true. She is a lot of laughs. So we are talking about childhood. And the first thing I will ask you is, when were you aware or can remember the earliest age of your life?
I will tell you about an incident that happened. I think that would be, I think the one that registered the most. I guess I would have started remembering. I remember a situation where I was crying. And you know, the old time houses were built on blocks, like, so there was a cellar.
Mm-hmm.
And what we call a cellar is not what some people call cellars, but looking under the cellar, I'm crying trying to get under the cellar because a puppy that I had gone under the cellar. I was crying, I couldn't get it. And I remember my father come in, pushing me aside, just like lifting me out of the way, and he went and got it from me. When I told my mother about that, my mother was very, very surprised. I remember that because I was about a year and a half. And my mother was like, "You remember that?" As did my father. They were both surprised by that.
Right. Yes, a lot of persons were saying that they remember earlier in their life that, and a lot of people do not believe that they cannot remember things, but all you need is one thing to trigger, that memory, and yes, you can remember. Can you remember when you started to talk?
No, but I was told it was very. I was told, y'all are going to find this very hard to believe, that I took long to talk. I was told up to 2 years old I wasn't talking.
Oh, okay. I found that people who talk later
Talk a lot.
No, you can't stop. They cannot stop talking. Yeah, I have
making it funny.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Going along your life now, we're going 2, 3, 4, say to 10. Were you a troublesome child? Are you the naughty, or you was a mellow child?
Mellow, I was a very obedient child. I did not like lashes. My sister and my cousin, they were the mischievous ones, but I would somehow always get in trouble because I was the oldest of the three. But it really was not a troublesome child. Once there was a bookshelf filled with books,
Mhm.
or there was a cartoon on the television, I was a very happy child.
Mm. And I
I read
find that
I would read books over and over again. So
mm, all of my
mhm.
on the guests on this show, everyone was a wonderful child. I see
I
everyone.
said, well, I did troublesome. I wasn't troublesome, but I wasn't I wasn't I didn't have a child where I didn't get lashes, but I wasn't a child who set out to do wrong. Yes, I did wrong. Sometimes I knew I was doing wrong, but I wasn't that kind of child that, yeah. Out of the
Awesome.
three, myself included, I grew up with, I was most obedient.
She said. So 11, 12, and going to your preteens and even into your teens, say around 14 or 15. What type of attitude, what did you think about yourself? Because that is a time of coming into yourself and it is very confusing. So how was your um, behavior during that time?
I will say this. I've always been this personality. I've always been the life for the party and stuff. But what people don't understand, and people tell me it is not so. I was never an introvert, but I enjoyed my company a lot.
Mhm.
And um, I had a very low self esteem, very 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 low self esteem. So I would have preferred if you just left me in the car by myself, so that I wouldn't be like how to put this. I would go out. So I saw nobody, and I would feel because we grew up in a situation with my mom. My mom was at the time I was living with my mom. She was a single parent, so things were pretty hard. So like your friends will have the brand name and everything, and you don't. So I didn't want anybody making fun of me. So I would just make fun of myself. I would just
Mm.
start making jokes and pointing out things about things I see around me, so nobody would pay me attention, right? But I would have been honestly, I would have preferred to just go and sit in the corner and watch my friends enjoy themselves because a lot of people don't know that about me either. I enjoy watching people. I enjoy watching them enjoying themselves. So
Mm.
I had a very low self-esteem, and as you said, the right word is confusing. And you're at pre-adolescent and adolescent stage, it is very confusing. And because we are now finding ourselves, our bodies are going through different changes. Women, different hormones are being released, and then you're being told at your age, but you don't know how your age acts.
Yeah.
And then when you try to act your age as you think you should, you're either rude or stupid or immature. So it
Yeah.
was confusing, but I don't want to go through that again. If it was a way that we could like come back and start life all over again, I would skip that.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very mental strain and tiring. Yeah, and emotionally draining as well. Yes, you see, it's not years of ha ha and feeling up and down and side to side and all around. So everyone goes through this.
Yeah.
Everyone. So you're going 15, 16, 17, say even to 20. Now you might be seeing the opposite sex or even starting to do some summer jobs. What did you do during this the later teens to going up to 20?
Well, between 15 and 20, I never had any summer jobs, but I babysat a lot. I love children. I've always loved children. We lived close, very, very close to the church. At the time, I was going to the Holy Seven Events Church. So like, when I had church board meetings, the pastor, the elders, whoever would just knock at the door. Hey, can you keep X, Y, and Z? And I enjoy doing that. We didn't have a TV either. And I would just at that age I just enjoy hanging out with my friends. My mother was a very strict person, so I never used to go too much unless certain people were going to be there. And so I was even like around fellas. I would see fellas that I liked, and but because of the low self-esteem,
Mhm.
I like to look back on that now and say that it is that if somebody approached me, I would normally push him away because I felt at that time I wasn't pretty enough. Or why is he looking at me? He just want to make fun of me and stuff like that. But that's basically, I got my first job at 18 years old. I loved that job. To the point, if those people were to come back now and say to me, you know, we want to start a new business in Barbados, can you come? I would say, yes. And I've always also been a very independent person. So I always say to myself, when I get 18, I'm leaving. I'm moving out and I'm living on my own. And that is what I did. I was always also to the word I guess you would say is more mature, more advanced in my
Mhm.
ish, because my aunt raised me to a certain point. So like I did all the grocery shopping, I paid all the bills and stuff like that. So it was like more responsible. So at 18, I moved out from home. That was it. And I met my first love in that age group too, between 15 and 20.
Okay. At this point, we're going to play a game. This game includes water. So I will ask some questions that I found online, and we will try to answer truthfully. And if we do not want to answer, or if our answer is yes, we have to take water, because Cherylann is a pusher of water, and I, having my stroke, should be taking a lot of water. So this way, we all is getting water. The first question is: never have I ever shaved my body hair into a random shape for a laugh.
Never. Yeah, boring. Never. Oh
Well, not for a laugh, for
my
just
goodness.
I did it
Uh-huh.
just to be to have uh, uh, a design. So I got drink water.
I know.
I will not say where, but I did it. I did it for style. Never have I ever eaten dog or cat food.
Never.
Never.
Unless you consider tuna cat food.
And no, although
Mm,
these cats is eat better than us
I was not about to tell
humans
you.
in these
They got a
times.
cat very picky.
Never have I ever flashed someone. You know what flash is?
I don't drink the water. Ow.
Well, if you um count your husband,
I'm a coat to heat.
ah, well, well,
You're not growing up. You used to see your parents. You would see people in the neighborhood cussing on him.
Yeah. Okay. Never have I ever eaten what I knew was someone else's food. Never. I am very
It's the food knowing it was your food. Just for her to fret.
well. Yeah, I think you once you do this in with your family is okay, but me, I'm a very squeamish person that even my family, I still cannot eat. And then even my daughter, even my children.
Work places and eat people's lunch and stuff. I wouldn't do that. I don't eat after people, but I would eat like I would if I know it's my sister, I can go and eat it just so she could crown.
Ah, yeah,
My husband, I can like I see put on something. Right.
yeah, I I can't do it. Okay. Never have I ever laughed so hard I wet myself.
I know you was going there. I have.
Yeah, I think almost everyone in the whole world have experienced this. So
I feel for the person profit.
right, yeah, this ain't weird. Right. Never have I ever picked out a veggie in public.
Up to last week.
I don't know why. This happens to everyone. Everyone.
Hey, comfortable girl, it gotta come out. It belongs there.
Yeah, and you do not be ashamed or frightened to take that out. Sometimes is you do it unconsciously. Yeah, and then after, then you hit you like, and then you're looking about all the place, and you're like, but it happened already. You do it. Is a natural thing. Okay. Never have I ever rubbed someone else's toothbrush in something other than toothpaste.
Never. That's not nice.
I just remember.
I never did that yet. I never ever. You talk across my mind, but I do it.
I just remember. I was just gonna say no, but I would never say what I did, but yeah, that just come in my brain. That is years ago. Yeah, that was.
If it was just saying so, I put in hot sauce and then put in a bit, but they like, oh, rub it, put a scotch bonnet pepper. That's not a nice thing.
And the thing is, the person saw me do it and started brushing teeth. They see to brushing off.
But it has to proof.
I remember that. Wow. Okay. Never have I ever kissed or dated with someone and kept it a secret. But you know, I can't remember a lot of the short take away a lot of things, so
You remember that?
I
You will
can't,
remember that.
I can't remember. I don't think so. But someone might make me remember, but I really don't think so.
I did.
I don't think so. Okay, and the last question is, never have I ever done something so bad in public that I still cringe whenever I think about it.
Oh. I had to take a mouthful of water there.
Well, yeah. If for talking, saying something that was so violent, yeah, saying things that was so violent, and have people looking at me like, you Rochelle? Yeah, yeah. When I think about it, it's like, yeah, that really wasn't me. Yeah, your embarrassing moment.
My embarrassing moment, I had stayed home from work because I wasn't well. And they thought I'd give me some tablets that really knocked me out. So, and when I am home, I dress like I am home. I like to be very comfortable. So I make sure that I'm dressed comfortably, which is how I was born. And this particular day, this is around the time we were having this, everybody was having tsunami. Somehow they were giving all this, seemed as though we were going to have tsunami. So we get a lot of these drills. And I lived next door to a primary school at the time. So I took the medication. My daughter went off to school. I took the medication and I was asleep. And I heard this siren. Somehow in the riches of my mind, I heard this siren. Jumped off my bed, all hysterical, threw on a petticoat, opened my front door, saw children going up the road with a drill, and took off behind the children, running out. I said, hurry up. And my neighbors looking at me looking like crazy, like, wait, come on, y'all can't see that. To realize a fireman came to me and said, Mom, are you okay? I said, why are these people not coming up? Why are y'all not getting these people? And he said to me, it's a drill for the children.
Wow.
Every time I think about that, I'd be like, oh, I was so embarrassed. And the fireman sees me, he just laughs. He said, the drills today. Whenever he sees me, he tells me that.
Well, at least you put on that petty coat.
Thank God I had a proper sheet. And that was good too.
Wow. Yeah. That's, yeah. Pretty
And this was on
embarrassing.
the road. It was on the main road. So buses and minivans, everything was passing.
Oh,
Only
yeah.
me now.
We are very thankful for that flimsy petticoat that you put on. At least the children were not terrified or,
Not the place.
you know, or, yeah, because, wow. So now we are going into your 20s and your 30s. First, how did you meet him? And then, how did your Cherylann, CJ, shape your character, your attitude in your 20s and 30s?
Well, the person I had met him like when I was 15. Right. But then he didn't live here, he went overseas. But one thing we've done is remain friends. But after him, I met my daughter's father. I met him in 1992. And I think that meeting changed my life, changed my outlook on life. That whole meeting, and because my life changed drastically. Not my life changed, it changed dramatically, drastically. I met him. No, I said I had a low self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you see things and you feel like you have to accept it because you think that's all you need, and that's you think you need that, you need that kind of thing to show that you love somebody or somebody loves you and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I met him, and I met him in 1992, and then 2 years after our meeting, our daughter was born. That is the best thing that has ever happened in my life. But at the time, I was a very frightened, immature little girl, and I grew up immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up immediately. All the little ideals and having I had all the little dreams and stuff. Life slapped me full in my face, and I grew up immediately. I ended up being a single mother,
Mm-hmm.
and my daughter was born very, very prematurely, because from the time I went to the hospital to have the baby, I was counselors were sent to me and everything, letting me know that I was going to have a stillbirth. Because even if a child lived, she would only live for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But 27 years later, she's still here.
And we thank the Lord.
Thank God, because that's the kind of God we serve. And
Mm-hmm.
God, what I will say, between those ages till now, God has stepped up to the plate all the time. Before I asked, He answered.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I was stubborn, I would have asked. He answered. And yeah, I went through a lot of things. And a lot of people sit here or will sit on this show and they will say, man, I went through a lot of things in life. You will hear a lot of people saying that. But some of them broke me.
Mm-hmm.
Broke me. And it took a while to rebuild. And you know, I always say that people, you will go on the surgeon's table and the surgeon knows, because he's trained, where everything is supposed to go. But when you are put back together, nothing ever goes back in the exact spot or exactly where it's supposed to go. Only God can put it back there.
Yeah.
And in life, through your experiences, when you get through them, you're never the person you were before. You come out. You can come out two ways: weakened or strengthened by it. You gotta choose. But I chose in my life. Like I said, I never was the same person because I would have learned. So from each lesson I learned. So I can't be the same.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But what I did is I never let it keep me down. Never.
Yes.
I can't stay down. I can't. That's giving up. That is throwing up. My hands are dying, and I'm not ready for that.
Yes. And you have heard Cherylann. She has been broken. She had been downtrodden. But she was telling herself she's not staying there. She's going to get up and fight for herself and her daughter. So you can learn from that. I really hope that you really take this in. This is in your 20s and you're going along with your daughter. And, you know, yes, being a single mother is not easy, is not easy.
It
And
isn't.
yes, it's not easy. And support is needed. Is really needed. So we always pray and think about those who do not have the support, you know. So
And what I would say is this: because sometimes when you're going through things, you are so caught up in what you're going through, you don't really see that God has placed people there, you know. And I just used to be like, I never regretted having my daughter. I really never regretted having my daughter. But I regretted the circumstances, and
yes.
because I used to be like, she doesn't deserve this. She should be at home with two parents, and you know, there are times when she might have wanted something I couldn't give her.
Mhm.
But I had to teach her to be appreciative of what she had, and I tried really hard. I provided her needs, but her wants, I let her, like, if she did something really good in school, excuse me, if she came good in school, I would make sacrifices to just provide that one want, right?
Mhm.
But what I will say is this as well: as much as I felt alone and down, when I sit down and look back at my life, God had people there. I have family members who were there for me and still are there for me.
Mm-hmm.
When I sit down and look at it, I remember there was a situation in my 20s. My best friend, I had asked her, she used to do my eyebrows for me. She will not do them no anymore after this incident. And, excuse me, she was doing it and somebody came in the washroom and I turned my head and all of the eyebrow was taken off. The very next day, I was curling my hair for church. I gave myself a little muff. I was curling my hair. Someone came in the bedroom, knocked my elbow. The curling iron fell from my hand. I was looking up like that, and I closed my eyes. I understand now what in the blink of an eye means. I closed my eye, and I remember screaming and telling them my eye had gotten burnt. And everybody was, no, your eye ain't burned. It's on the outside swollen. Everybody put their ice on the outside. But really and truly, the curler iron had burnt my eye, the baby of my left eye. So then they realized that I was like really screaming. The eye was swollen. I was telling them, well, I feel like if I am looking through a pair of shades. Everybody's like, no. So the eye was swollen shut. And then I was like, y'all, why y'all turn off your light? This is in the morning. It was like, we need to turn off your light. And I was like, why y'all turn off your light? It went blind. And they called a friend from church, and he came, a doctor. He came, looked at my eyes like, no, we can't even wait for ambulance. Went to the hospital. It was declared clinically blind and placed on a ward because I couldn't see. I could not see. The other eye that wasn't burnt, I couldn't see. So the doctor said, well, you know, that means you had bad eyes before. That was the lowest time I think throughout that time, because all I'm thinking is if I can barely take care of my daughter and I can't see, how am I going to take care of this child? And I remember just crying and crying, and I was like, God, why are you doing this to me? What have I done? You said if we confess our sins, and I really had a really heart to heart with God. My family came in, and the evening time, and my cousin put her hand on my eye, and she talked to God. She talked to God. The night the doctor came to see me, I said to him, who told you to put all those colors? They don't go good. And he was like, what colors am I wearing? Excuse me. I told him what I saw, which was an orange pants with a musty color looking brown shirt. Really and truly, it was a red and some other color. But he said, and what else? What else am I wearing? I said, you got a cap. He said, Miss Johnson, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what happened between this morning and tonight. But you can see. I was like, I decided to show a screaming at the hospital, but because it was right. Yes, I have to wear glasses. I wear them. I just don't like put them on too much. But that was, I think, there were other times when I felt as a failure because of certain situations, but that one situation was the most scariest in my life after my daughter's birth. But my family was there. My family and the friends that God placed in my life were there.
Yes, and we can see, how strong you are. She is a strong woman.
Oh my gosh. It's faith. It's faith that makes you strong.
Yeah, but I'm better for knowing you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you were really. But I am happy that I met her, and she's been a constant friend to me. She knows what to say. She knows how to comfort persons. That's the one thing that I like about you. You know how to comfort people.
I will say this about you, because I remember a time calling you shortly after you were ill, and I was like, now what am I going to tell Rochelle? I was like, but when I put down the phone for talking to you, I said, my daughter was there, was like, I called her to encourage her or to be encouraged. I was like, I asked the Lord to help me to be like you, because I could not believe it. And you said that you're better for knowing me. You don't even know the encouragement you gave me.
Well, when you call me, you help bring me out of almost slipping them, because well, honestly, when I had the first stroke, a lot of persons disappear.
Like,
Disappear.
mhm.
Right? So when you called, it was like a light came in my life and told me, well, you are not forgotten. So I
I'm
am,
glad
as
I
I
used
say, I am better to know you, because this is years. I mean, there's years. We are not that friends that will call each other
really.
all the time, but we will post and we are going to talk about it, and then we are sending each other messages, and it talk on the phone is like we were always talking. So
Yes, there was no
it
separation.
and that is the type of friends that you need
Yes.
and want, but mostly need. Spiritual people, people you can still have fun with, and who could tell you when you're wrong or right. So, as I say, I am better to know you.
Okay. Likewise.
Now we are going to your 30s. Even in your 20s, you start to work at that time. Um, how was working in your 20s and 30s for you? How it was easy to find work, or hard, or you or do you find your career or anything that you found interesting?
What I will say is this. I worked because I had to. So the jobs I had were not anything that I wanted. But I had to survive. I had to take care of my daughter. But I was thrown in an area where all the jobs actually were areas where I had to interact with people. I hated typing at school. I came last in accounts, math, and typing.
Wow.
And all of my serious jobs, I worked as secretary, accounts clerk, office administrator. And I worked a lot of places because, like I said, I am a single parent. And Azealia was a very sickly child.
Mhm.
So I would, like, you can't find people to keep your child. So you either bring the child to work with you or you stay home with your child. And I always place my child first. And so I wasn't able to keep them on a lot of jobs, but most of my jobs entailed working and interacting with people, which I enjoy because I really like people. I like helping people. And so I enjoy working with jobs with people and stuff like that. So I didn't really find my calling, but what I did, I think that went into my 30s. I went and did a guidance and counseling course
Mhm.
because I like helping young people. I was a member of the Barbados Pathfinder Band as well. So working with young people, I wanted to work with them in every way, not just play an instrument with them, get to know them and stuff like that. So that was also, yeah. I even had to do for the past 30s. So we get the 40s yet.
Well, you're just working.
Yes, I am
Again,
now.
it might not be what you will want to do,
But
but
it was legal.
yeah, right. So now you're going through your 30s. Did you have anything that really not change you, but you had to think hard to do or not to do a particular thing in your 30s going to your 40s?
Everything I did really, I really just put a lot of thought into it before I did it. Because everything I did, I always thought how it would affect my daughter. That's the honest truth. Where I lived, the jobs I took, how far away from her school, town, whatever, but never really what do I think what was long and hard? It would have to be in my 40s, a decision like that. Because it was never a question. It was never a question. It was never a question because at the time I knew it was me she had to depend on. So any decision I made, once it didn't affect her negatively, I would do it. But it's when I got into my 40s now.
Okay, so we hearing about these 40s. These 40s. And
This
you
is
know
my
what I
last
say?
week. Yeah, this is
As
my
I say,
last year.
when you turn 40, that's when you really live your life. So tell us about your 40s. What
Uh,
what
sorry.
happened in your 40s?
I think that's my coming of age. I think, I mean, I finally sat down and took stock of my life and I realized, you're not living your life. You're living other people's life. What people
Mm,
expect of you. What your daughter expects of you, everybody expects of you. So in my 40s was the time when I decided to be me, be really me, do me, love me. To really, I had started it by me to really love and appreciate who I was, how I looked, and to really go after what I wanted. I learned that I really learned and accepted that no matter what you do, will never be good enough.
mhm,
So just do you and let God be your judge, and you live your life for God, and everything else and think everybody else will fall into place.
mhm.
I always said that I wouldn't get married, but I got married in my 40s. And that in itself was a very big decision because I never thought anything would come between my daughter and I because my daughter and I were very close. But this decision to get married was a decision that I think almost severed our. That may be a severe word to use, but that is the decision that almost severed our closeness.
Mm.
But again, I prayed about that. I really prayed about that. I got to the point where I called and when I said to him, "Wow, I love my daughter. I love you, but I can't. I feel like I'm deserting my daughter." But I prayed again. I talked to God about it, and God showed me. I was like, you gotta show me this is the way you want me to go.
Mhm.
And thankfully, God worked it out. This is going to be 2 years now that I am married, and my daughter and I, we're as close as ever. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's it. So
yeah,
now I'm no longer ruling nest because she's on her own and stuff as well.
yeah. We love to see our children growing up and
And adulting,
thriving on their own. You see, at any age, the love bug can hit you.
this person I've known, we spoke about coming up through the years, and I've known this person from 10, 11 years old.
Okay.
And I remember telling this person one day, he said to me, I'm going to marry you. And I was like, and he was the last man on earth, not me. Just as I said it here is what I say. He teased me, like people just be teasing, but I'm very close to his family, so he was always in my face. But I
Hmm.
never took him serious. The last time I saw him, he had to drop me home, and it was like I would prefer to call a taxi, like in his vehicle, that kind of way. But that drop home, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but all I can say is we're married. I saw a side of him I'd never seen before, and when I think about it, when I look back and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, the tennis it was like this is always hiding, and it told me a lot because sometimes we see people and we because of experiences, like you might see somebody on the road and they might scream and say something they shouldn't, But you've judged them like that for the whenever you see them, that is what you remember. You don't see that there could be anything else that they could have made that one mistake. But he teased me all my life. He's teased me my entire life. And it was like whenever his family were so shocked when they realized that we were going out, that we were dating. They were like, so even at the wedding, they were like, we can't believe that we're here.
Yes. Once people know you, especially a person saying you will never get married, I was like that. I was like that. And then when you have to say about, yeah, I'm married or I'm going to get married, first thing, who is the man? Who is that man that marrying you? But again, the love bug, when that hit you,
and it hit.
And you know a bug does smell. So when that smell hit you, it don't come off you easily. So
like a mosquito, get got the trick.
right. And once God have placed it in your life, you better take it. Yep. Whatever gift he give you, you have to take it. So I'm very happy. You know, I am so happy. Happy for you. You're in your 40s. You're enjoying your married bliss, and you're still a newlywed, because I say it's the 5 years you are a newlywed.
Even before my year, I had a health scare as well. So it was like, yeah, I get you. Because I remember when I found out you had this stroke, I was like, I started to pray. I was asking God to strengthen your husband and help him to be the husband that you needed at this time. Because he's here for better or for worse, but he's already want the worse for the better.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. That is true. And your praise working. You can see.
Honestly, that was the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, Lord, I just got married. And I can tell that the devil sees that God has things planned. The devil don't know the plans God has for you. The only plan that the devil knows that God has for you is eternal life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But in between that, he does not know the plans God has for you to help you to get there in terms of like in your life on this earth. He don't know. He can only see and assume. So he will see things happen in your life and he will say, oh, this is the way that he's going. So let me put something there as an obstacle. And let me do this as an obstacle. And that is what he does. He likes to intervene. He knows that God is a God. God instigated marriage. And that is of God. Marriage and family. So no, all right, so that's what I'm doing. All right, let me just throw a little something there.
Yeah, that is so true.
He's already defeated.
Amen. Now you're going into your 50s. Do you have a positive word for persons who are leaving their 40s and going to their 50s, especially for those who may want to get married and do not think that going in your 50s they will ever have a chance?
Well, first thing first, this is how I see it. Right? I'm going to be 49 years old on Sunday coming. And because I was in my 40s, I thought, well, no, it's all over. Because a lot of us look at marriage as get married and have children and have a home and stuff like that. I really and truly, what is the sense of me getting married in my 40s and have a child, an adult? But unless you're so busy looking for that perfect partner or looking for that partner that you don't live. You don't live. And we women are very guilty of that. We get our hair done because we must look good all the time. We get our nails done. Everything we do is to attract a partner. Mm-hmm. You're not doing anything for yourself.
Yeah.
Enjoy your singleness. I got to the point where I realized I enjoyed my singleness. I enjoyed it to the point where I miss it at times now, right? But enjoy your singleness. Get to know you, love you. Enjoy your company. Go out, sit down, have ice cream, and talk to yourself. Go out to dinner. You know, you will have friends. I have friends who are married. I have a lot of friends who are married. But then I have friends who aren't. I hang out a lot with the ones who weren't. I didn't neglect the ones who were married. I listened to the ones who were married. And I told God, Lord, well, this is me. And help me to find a partner. But God told me, no, you don't have to look for a partner. As women, you don't. So that's another thing. We have to start looking.
Mhm.
God created Adam, and Adam was the one who looked for his partner. In the Garden of Eden, I said, where's my partner? He didn't create Eve, and Eve asked for a partner.
Yeah.
God provided Adam with Eve. So God will provide your Adam with you, right? So love you, enjoy you, and build on your relationship with God. Because when you build on your relationship with God, then God makes you into who you are supposed to be. A lot of us tell God, this is what you want in a man. Blah, 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 blah. You want all these qualities. When you get them, when you get these qualities, you know how to handle it. I used to
Um,
say, I'm looking for somebody who will prioritize me. I'm looking for somebody who, when I finally got it, in my low self-esteem, I had to learn to love myself. First thing first. When I learned to love myself. But then when I got what I prayed for, I really was overwhelmed. I couldn't deal with it. I was actually running away from it. Somebody
mhm.
had to point out to me, I had to talk to God about it. Right? Trust God. Don't stop living, live. Don't live to get a man or woman. Just live, enjoy yourself. And sometimes the person that if God has for you is right there. I used to grow up hearing that, but it is a fact. The person is right there, and you are so busy. I had a discussion with one of my sisters the other day, and we were talking about men, and she was like, somebody was interested in her. She said, "That's not my type," and I stopped her. Because if I thought about it, my husband was not my type either.
Mm.
He was not my type. But you know what I will say? When I said to her, what is your type? And she said it. I said, is your type with you right now? I said, I've gone out with my type. I've got, and none of the relationships with my type lasted. So they could
So
not be my
true.
type. They cannot be your type then. Your type will stay with you.
Yeah.
Your type will stay with you. I have dated people and they love me so much and none of them proposed to marry me. My
Yeah.
husband said to me, and when he laid his cards out to me, he said, I am not going out with you to go with you. I am going out with you to become your husband and you my wife. That is my type. So we have a type sometimes that is not not for us. It's somebody else's. So just let
Mhm.
God decide for you. Live and enjoy your life. Don't live in the past. It is already gone. Don't live with regrets. It already happened. Yes, there are things that happened in my life that I wish had it happened. Point is, it happened.
Yes.
It has happened. Do not let the past dictate how you live. It has happened. Do not live it over and live it over and live it. Past means behind. Look for what can happen in the future and go with there. Always put God first. Always.
Did you hear that? Do you believe that? I believe that.
Yep.
That is the best thing. So, Cherylann, I am so, so, so happy that you agreed to come on this show to be in a conversation about your life. You send us words of encouragement that we need at this point, and you just show how lovely you are. So I thank you, and I pray and I thank the Lord for you.
I thank you too. And I pray that you continue to let God lead you and to trust God. I tell people
Amen.
I can't wait for heaven. I cannot wait for heaven. You and I will be up there. So we'll be up
Yes,
there
of course.
playing around and shouting at all our friends. I just can't wait for it. So
Yes.
I can't wait till all this COVID this is done so we can see each other.
Yes,
Hug each other
and
and
visit
laugh.
at church and everything.
Oh
Again,
yes.
thank you, Cherylann or CJ, and thank you, the viewer, for joining us watching about ordinary persons like you and their story and their life. If you want to promote your services or products, email us at BajunStrokeSurvivor@gmail.com. We have different packages to suit your needs. Until the next time and story, have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.